Hi, I'm Rebecca Hobbs, the Stage 1 coordinator at the Kent School of Architecture and Planning. We are setting you a challenge. So I'm just going to show you a PowerPoint to help you with that. And you can hopefully see that right now. So we would like you to design a machine to travel in and explore part of the world you have never been to. Here are some ideas other people have come up with. So this is Leonardo da Vinci's machines, and as you can see, there are a variety of traveling ideas. So on the left-hand side, we've got a helicopter, the beginnings of a helicopter, and on the right-hand side, a hovercraft, and on the bottom right, some sort of flying machine. So he was very interested and very innovative of his time, as you probably know already. And so these are very early ideas in terms of travel machines. So here we have Heath Robinson's machines. He was a 1970s illustrator, quite humorous, his ideas. And they were machines that were propelled by people. On the right-hand side, we've got a little cinema with looks like a sound as well coming out of that top right-hand side, and also at the same time cleaning the streets. And then on the bottom right-hand side, we've got a man lounging but still operating this machine by foot, and he's got a breakfast ready for his travel. Here we have Burning Man. So these are events that happen in America and also in South Africa. We've got this huge ship on wheels, and it looks like a massive party for a load of people. Thomas Heatherwick's Shanghai Pavilion, really interesting. This is basically a space covered by fiber optic rods, and within that space you can see on the top left-hand side there's a place that could be inhabited, but also think about this at night time. So it's just a really interesting form and also texture. Here we have some flying machines, some operated by propellers, some operated by gas, and probably petrol on the bottom right-hand side. Just interesting forms in themselves, but also how they are occupied. So on the left-hand side, that the internal space is probably completely occupiable. So this is a really interesting but very slow way of moving across the world. And then we have the Boeing 3148 Yankee Clipper. I thought I'd include this because the section or cut through of that aeroplane shows how each one of those spaces being occupied. So that's something that maybe you can think about when you're drawing your design. And then by rail, so we've got kind of an historical 1937 Coronation Scot on the left-hand side, but looking at the interior, quite luxurious. On the bottom right, bedroom and lounge, so that's probably a cabin for a couple. And Heath Robinson's version, but as a flying train as well. So I think you could be really inventive about how this happens, how your journey comes about. And then Pedal Power, the travel box, just designed on the right-hand side. The whole thing collapses up into a stainless steel box that can be that becomes a trailer for a bicycle. And on the top left, the Tricycle House by Peo, a concertina version. So within that space, you have a place to sleep and probably equipment for cooking and eating. And then on the bottom, a tiny miniature, almost like a little caravan, but that's also in sections, so you can see how that's being occupied as well. And then the camper cart, a supermarket trolley that once it's pulled out, so you can see on the bottom right how it looks before it's pulled out. And then the little section on the top left-hand side, you can see that's a living space, but also space for equipment as well. So tiny little version of a caravan, I guess. And then the Caravan of the Sky, Buffalino Benedetto. So this is articulated, a caravan that sits on the ground, but actually can be extended out. And you could use that idea for lots of different versions. Here we have Harmony Amphibious RV by Wei Lai Feng. So this is a kind of very futuristic version of an amphibious machine. and the fan on the top of it is to capture solar energy as a series of photovoltaic cells, and that can be converted into electricity. So this can be operated and moved through electricity. And then the floating seahorse Kleindienst group. So you can see from the top, as if you were sitting on the surface, you wouldn't see what was going on underneath. So that's quite an interesting idea in terms of a hidden version or something hidden within your traveling machine. Croatia pavilion on the left-hand side, very interesting, just really made out of steel mesh. But there is a space within that. But of course, it's not doesn't have any weather protection. But it might be suitable for maybe the Pacific. So you're getting wind coming through as a cooling system. And on the right-hand side, a concertina. This is a chapel by Denizen Works. So that concertina can open and close depending on how you want to occupy it within. All of those, of course, floating for the sea. Or something completely different, which are floating islands by Marshall, Bletcher and Foxtrot. So this little island could be anything, on it. It would obviously take a very long time to get to your destination. So you might be pushed by currents or wind. And then some ideas in terms of form and materiality. So you've got timber, steel mesh, fabric, stretch fabric. So all of these you can think about in terms of how you want to travel to your destination. So here's a brief, so things to think about. So I'm just going to read through it. We're proposing that during this worldwide lockdown that you imagine making a journey with your friends or family to somewhere on the planet or beyond. You need to think about where your destination is, from where you're traveling and how long it will take to get there. You should consider the following. Where are you going and why? What are you going to do when you get there? How are you getting there and back, if you want to come back? Are you traveling by air, by rail, by sea or foot? You have to design a machine to travel in. Who are you traveling with? Please draw the people and any other creatures who are going to accompany you on the trip. What equipment do you need to take with you? You need to provide the following: a place to sleep, a place to cook and eat, a place to wash and use a WC, a place to relax, and a means to record your journey. For equipment, water, fuel of your choice if you need it. And for the design, you should consider the following: the form of your machine. So I've given you some examples of what that would be. The area, spaces you need to provide for everyone to accompany you. The materials the machine is going to need of, which could be timber, metal, fabric, straw, recycled materials, mycelium, any other you can find out about. How is it powered? What fuel and technology? And these could be photovoltaic cells, steam, manpower, solid fuel, or other. We would love to see your designs. Please submit the following. To Instagram and tag us at Kent_Arch. So we would like to see a 3D drawing of your proposal on its way or at your destination, and a plan, if you can do that, of your proposal. Good luck. Yes, we're really looking forward to seeing what you come up with. Thank you very much.